Can you imagine the food that's going to be on display? Can you imagine the food that's going to be available in and around the stadium? What a fusion of cuisines. What a fusion of cultures. What a fusion of football, son.
Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Rahi. We have a very special episode today. We are coming to you. It's almost like breaking news, Rahi. It's almost like breaking news.
It is.
It's breaking news. We got 4 very interesting teams competing in a tournament in London. We're going to get to all that in this video. And here we go. The 4 teams are, of course, Ghana, Black Stars, Nigeria, Super Eagles, Trinidad Tobago Soca Warriors, and finishing it off, the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. And they're all competing in a tournament in May. Coming up, Rahi, what do you got to say about the Unity Cup?
Woo! I am excited, man. This is a brilliant idea. I love it. These are just extremely exciting teams. It's so interesting to have these teams play against each other. It's a semifinal, a Caribbean semifinal on one hand, a West African semifinal on the other hand. Winner plays in the final. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you imagine the food that's going to be on display? Can you imagine the food that's going to be available in and around the stadium? What a fusion of cuisines. What a fusion of cultures. What a fusion of football, sir.
It's African football meets Caribbean football, and it's beautiful. They've done this before, but this one's even better. And I got to say, with no offense to the previous tournament, this one's better. It has one extra team. And did you know that if you were to combine the diaspora of all these countries, it is over 1 million people?
Yeah.
That's wild to me to think that.
Yeah.
Over 1 million people.
That's why this matters. We often say it's more than a sport. It goes beyond sport. This tournament to me feels like really something beyond the sport because you're speaking to the diaspora community there. And I think, look, don't underestimate the impact that a tournament like this could have, especially if it continues. Think about a kid growing up in London who goes to watch one of these teams play, right? Let's say his parents are Jamaican. Let's say his parents are Nigerian. And he goes to watch these teams play instead of playing for England in 14 years. Maybe he decides, hey, I'll play for Nigeria instead. This kind of stuff matters. It really does.
Yes. We always talk about international football, and this stuff is super important. This is why it truly is the international football for me is the ultimate in any sport.
It's so
in any,
fun.
Because you just get beautiful stories like this. So let's briefly talk about each of these teams and how important this tournament is for each of them. So we'll start with Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica Reggae Boyz because they've both now qualified for the Gold Cup. So this is a nice Gold Cup precursor for both teams.
It's a great test for both teams. Both will feel like they go into this game with an opportunity to win. Both will feel confident. Certainly the Jamaicans should feel more confident. I think a more talented team. But hey, they're coming off a Nations League that was disappointing. They are going into World Cup qualifying really with the chance to cement their place. Look, it's an interesting time for this team, new manager and all, but it's a very talented team, and they're going to want to make their mark on this tournament. It's a tournament the Reggae Boyz can win.
Yeah, 100%. And they have the new man Brown who came through in the last round of Gold Cup qualification. They had a tough time with St. Vincent. Trinidad, on the other hand, had a much easier time in their matches against Cuba. So, it's an interesting time for the Soca Warriors as well because, you're thinking like, all right, we're going to be competing directly with you, our Caribbean rival, not only perhaps in the Gold Cup, but then down the line, you said in World Cup qualifying.
And that's the advantage Trinidad has. Right, in this first game, it's a rivalry game of sorts, right? So you kind of throw the form out the window, you throw the players out the window, right? Trinidad will play up for this game because it's a team they know they can play with, despite the gulf in quality, perhaps, of players on both teams. Trinidad will know they can beat Jamaica because they have in the past.
100%. Okay, now switching over to the African rivalry, Ghana and Nigeria doesn't get any spicier than that. What do we got to say about that? The jollof rice competition, is that what you
Yes,
had in
it's the
mind?
battle for jollof rice. Spicy it is. I mean, maybe Nigerian jollof rice a little spicier, but some will say the Ghanaian version better. Who knows? They'll battle it out on the field. It's a wonderful, wonderful rivalry. Two teams with so much history, right? The Black Stars have been the class of Africa time and time again. Nigeria, of course, incredible periods in the 90s in particular. This is a great moment because both teams are coming off a bit of a downturn, right? Ghana now in the last round of African qualifiers, cementing, showing who they are. Nigeria in a really tough spot in qualifiers with a new manager, with a talented team, a lot to prove, a lot of questions that are still unanswered for the Super Eagles. So again, an opportunity for both these teams to really start some good vibes, right? The Nigerians need good vibes. The Ghanaians have started to get good vibes again. It's a real opportunity for both these teams.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think, Ghana is definitely on the rise, right? You have Iñaki Williams with a goal, in the last round. You have, the players all
Kudus,
starting to play
yeah.
well again. Kudus, Thomas Partey, they're on an upswing. And even in their World Cup qualification campaign, they're heading up. Nigeria was on a slight upswing, and then it got kind of stalled a little bit. So even though Nigeria is well ahead in terms of the overall FIFA rankings, right? The likes of Osimhen, the likes of all these other big players that they have, Lookman, all these players that we talked about, Trustekong, they have to show up in this tournament. And remember, these teams don't play again. They don't play in the June window. They play in the September window.
Oh, right. Good point. Good point.
So,
yeah.
so it's this is a good opportunity to get the boys together and play in this tournament.
Yeah. No, and they'll want to win. I mean, huge rivalries on both sides. So can you imagine they're going with a lot of desire to win this tournament?
100%. And I think on that note, Rahi, we will finish here. Who wins the Unity Cup?
Ooh.
Who is the team that's going to come out of this? This is hard.
It's very difficult. Don't be fooled. I'm obviously wearing the Nigeria jersey here, but I do think the class of this tournament are the Ghanaian Black Stars. I think they will be the winners in the end. Look, Jamaica in with the shout. Nigeria certainly will feel very, very much like favorites. And look, don't sleep on the Soca Warriors, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Ghana.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think both of these matches, it's so nice how they've done this too, because you have the rivalry matches first, then you get into final. Yeah,
it's so fun.
It's going to be a great tournament. We, of course, at the ISP here will cover it all. I will go with Nigeria. I'll pick Nigeria to win this tournament. Unity Cup. I can't wait, Rahi. Any final thoughts? What do you got to say?
I love this tournament. It's a great idea. I cannot wait.
All you fans of all the teams, let us know who you think is going to win in the comments. And as we always say, keep watching the beautiful game.